of Diddy Kong Racing. Please take it away.
Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Obiyo. I'm gonna be the runner for this Diddy Kong Racing 100% round. With me I have a few commentators, also top runner of this game. So you guys can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am MrsGizamaluke, or more commonly known as a Giz.
Hi there, my name is sweenerdog, or just sweener.
And I'm tridenttail.
Alright, so if you guys are ready, I'm ready to go.
You're very ready.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Alright, good. So I'm gonna do a countdown and I'm gonna start on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so I guess first thing first, I should explain what is 100% for this round. So we define it as getting everything in the adventure mode, essentially. So that means collecting 47 golden balloon, 5 golden trophies, 4 keys, and we have to complete the Wispig and TT amulet, which are both in 4 pieces that we have to collect. And we also have to beat the last boss, which is going to be the second Wispig race. So this is what we're going to be working toward in the next hour and 45 minutes. And yeah. So we're gonna start with at the very beginning. We're gonna talk to Taj. Taj is like essentially you can talk to him anytime, and you can switch to different vehicles. So right now we're on car, but there's also the hovercraft and the plane. And so we're gonna transform into the plane because there are 4 golden balloons scattered across the overworld, and collecting these straight away will make it so that the route will nicely we won't have to backtrack between areas of the game, basically. So like it makes the route more linear, and we lose less time traveling between areas. You can see there's 2 at the back here, and on the way to the domain there's 2 more. And these balloons will be useful to open doors. As you see, the number on the door is the number that you need to open them. Right now we can do everything in here. So now I'm about to destroy everybody's childhood, so I'm gonna let you guys explain how I'm gonna do that.
Obiyo, the overworld god. That was so clean. Well, I guess where do we start? I mean, Diddy Kong Racing has 3 vehicles, as anyone who's played this in their childhood can probably remember. But we're gonna see car by far the most. Every vehicle has their own unique mechanics around them. Some of them, they kind of share mechanics. Other ones, they are completely unique. For car, however, kind of a weird racing game mechanic. We're going to be tapping the A button instead of holding it down. Since this is adventure mode, we're going to see one of the main tricks coming up right now. Perfect. That is called a cutscene skip. A lot of people are going to remember Taj the elephant coming down and delivering a balloon. But we don't want to watch that cutscene the first time because it actually loses some time. So we can skip that cutscene. We are going to be forced to watch it down the line, but that version of the cutscene is shorter. So we want to try to get as many of these cutscene skips as we can.
So that cutscene skip is a 1-frame trick. You have 1 frame to pause at the very end of the race and exit to the lobby. And if you don't get it the first try, it is possible to buffer it, although it is quite difficult in some cases because this game can have a variable frame rate, and that can make buffering in on certain tracks quite difficult. So yeah, there's 40 of them in the run, and Obiyo is going to try and get as many as he can.
Yeah, and most of them are saving about 6 seconds, but a few of them at the end will actually save double the amount of time of that. But we will see that later.
Usually runner will get somewhere between like 37 to 30 of them. Like sometimes they're gonna have really good runs, like I think Trident got 39 twice. But so far nobody has ever got all 40 cutscenes in one run.
This is true, yeah. I think 3 runners have gotten 39 out of 40. That's myself, Giz, and another runner by the name of Prac City, who's really, really good. I think it's just the three of us who have ever had a 39 out of 40 run, which is pretty crazy.
Shoutouts to Prac.
Yeah, and here we see a trick we call Canyonless. Obviously stolen from the SM624 trick, Canyonless. Where you grab a balloon and you boost out over the canyon and fly really, really quickly. It's a pretty difficult trick, and as you can see, you fly a lot in this track, even in the car.
And in chat, I see somebody asking, why clock?
Because fast. So every character in this game have different stats, and TT just so happens to have the best stats.
Yeah, and we should probably talk about this track a little bit, because we will see something here that will be the first. So we saw the cuts and skip, but this is going to be the first real glitch. Oops, what happened there?
Wait,
Now we're
where's the
outside the map. So basically, he used a boost and barrel rolled to get enough speed to push underneath the lava, or like the fluid, and he came so far down that he was underneath where the wall ends, and then he ended up on the other side. And now he's just traveling around the track, out of bounds, hitting the checkpoints he needs, because you don't need to hit every single checkpoint. Yeah. That was really good. Very, very clean.
So those checkpoints that we're hitting, those are actually the key to the trick that's coming up. In Venture mode, we have bosses that we have to race, and most of them we have to race normally, but this one, we're going to see something a little different.
And this is actually going to be a new trick for GDQ, because since this is a trick that's been discovered after Giz ran his 80% run back at SGDQ 2017, was it?
That's right. And it was found later that year.
Whoa, why is he driving behind the track?
He's just giving him a head
Maybe
start.
he's giving...
I just don't want to do that track normally, you know.
Oh, first try.
You're going the right way, though.
Yeah, I think I'm going the right way. Yeah, look, I won. It's the right way.
Easy peasy.
So that is a really weird trick, but it also has to do with checkpoints. Essentially, there are checkpoints near the finish line, and there's checkpoints where you start, but the finishing checkpoints overlap, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, behind the finish line. So we can drive back there, but we have to hit the right checkpoint, and every frame of the game, it actually swaps back and forth between the checkpoint we want and the checkpoint we don't want. So while what just happened looked like it was really, really easy, there's actually about a 50% chance that you will get the correct checkpoint. It will think you're at the end of the track and let you win early.
Yeah. And because it's 50% because it swaps every frame. Yeah. But it has to be performed correctly as well, so it's in reality a little lower.
Yeah, it's a really deceiving trick. There are runs where it seems like it's 50%, and there's others where it seems like it's a 10% thing.
Yeah, and here we have Fiery Mountain.
Turn around and shoot crunch. Oh, this is good. This is good. Yeah.
Look at him.
Yes.
Look at him.
Oh, this is fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
Oh. Okay.
Nicely done.
Easy.
Alright, nice.
So this is a solid.
This was the one thing I was scared.
This is a
about
solid
some
beginning.
athletic as well.
We got 4 out of 4 cutscene skips. The races, from what I saw, were pretty solid, and we got first try tricky. No trolling in the first minigame, so we're off to a great start here.
Yeah, for sure. And the movement of the CPUs in the minigames are actually dependent on your own movement. So if you move in a similar matter, the CPUs will move in a similar pattern every time. So that's why we can have like a route that works basically every time.
Yep.
But sometimes you go slightly off, and then the CPUs will be slightly off. But this one, well.
And you're going to see more examples of that as we do the rest of the mini games later on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now we're moving into the second stage of the lobby. So basically, after you beat the boss of a lobby, it tells you that you have to go back to the races, and then collect silver coin and win again. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and most casual players might have nightmares after these coins, but Obiyo should not have any issues winning these races. However, it's pretty interesting to see the coin races because they have a different route than the other ones, so you have to, yeah, you know, learn different patterns of movement.
And we just saw the AI get in the way near the end of that lap. That's actually one of the interesting things about this game. In other racers, like Mario Kart 64, the AI typically rubber bands, so they catch up to you pretty quickly, but all the AI speeds in this game are completely fixed. So everybody's driving at the same speed throughout the whole course, so typically you can expect them to be in the same spots on each lap that you drive past them. But since they're in your way, they actually act as an additional obstacle.
That is true. The only piece of rubber banding in this game is actually for the start boosts. Because if you get a good start boost, most of your CPUs will get a good start boost, but if you get a yellow one, most of the other ones will get yellow or nothing, and if you get nothing, most of your other CPUs will get no boost. So that's the only piece of rubber banding to put in, but otherwise the speed is fixed. And that actually goes for these the items as well. So we can usually predict around where the like the green balloons or like this oil spill or bubbles stuff will be released as well. So if we go at about the same speed, it will be at similar places every time. But it's not exact, but it's similar.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the more frustrating things about this game for sure, is the variability of the traps. Like Obiyo's holding one right now. The AI can pick that up too and can leave a mess all over the track. And it's not like it's in the exact same spot every time. It's always somewhere different. So it's kind of a wild card.
Yeah, and now he missed a coin there on the
Let's
bounce.
try not to miss it this time.
Yeah, this is a rough one.
Bam.
Okay, good. Nice. Because if you miss it and fly into the tunnel, you have to drive out of the tunnel again. It's kind of annoying. That was really good.
This could be, I was gonna say
freak.
close to sub 1, but
Still really,
very
really
good
good.
coins.
100 is super solid, yeah.
So I saw another question in chat. Do you get a boost from drifting in this game? You do. When you're drifting in the car, and you're just going normally, you do get a boost of speed. So drifting while you're turning is usually faster. But if you are drifting out of a boost, whether it be a blue balloon or one of these zippers that we see Obiyo flying through, that will actually slow you down. So when you're boosting, you don't want to drift, but when you are not boosting, you do want to drift, typically.
Yeah, depending on how your boost speed is. It's kind of complicated. But what we can talk about here... Oops. Going for the backup with the zipper.
Easy.
Wow.
Hot.
Nice backup.
Very good.
Yeah, going for the time trial stuff. So, what we haven't talked about is the barrel rolls, right?
Right.
Because you see that he's barrel rolling all the time. And that's not only to make it look cool, even though it does. It's to make him go faster, because the barrel rolls are actually adding an actual boost. It's not big, but it's actually there. And to make it go really quick, really fast, you let go of the A button, just like you do when you use the blue balloons or when you go over zippers. And if you chain them together, you go faster and faster and faster and faster, and you go really, really quick.
So second boss race.
Yeah, so this is basically a coin flip. You got first try
I
last
predicted
time.
double first try earlier, so let's see if I get
And
it.
you didn't reset the console, so all the good luck is still there.
Exactly.
True.
That's how it works.
If you get another first try here, then we're on pace for a really good run.
No way! God.
That's
Wow.
awesome. So,
Okay. And reset console.
Yep.
Here we go.
I kind of wish
Wow.
I had my splits right now, because this would be ahead of PB for sure. Like, this down
this
the
is
lane
8
was
for
pretty
8.
good.
Cutscene skips, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, this is a
And
very
Obiyo's
good
PB is world record, for those who don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a really good run.
Very, very good run. Dino is like the most reset heavy part of this run. Like getting through with decent cutscene skips and decent tricky luck is so much harder than it looks. That was a Obiyo making this look easy with that RNG.
But it's not.
No,
By the way,
it's,
we restarted here. So you know there's a cutscene after the dino, and we had to go back to the overworld anyways. So resetting is faster than watching the cutscene than exiting dino. So that's why we set the console there.
exactly.
And
But
those-
you guys might have a question. We're like, isn't there a trophy to be completed? Well,
You'll see later. You'll see.
yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
back.
don't worry about
we'll
that
be
right
back.
Just pretend the trophy doesn't exist for now. You know?
Exactly.
So Obiyo's gonna finish this race on the Taj Mat because after he collects the balloon here, he needs to talk to Taj so that he can switch vehicles again, so that he can go to the next world, which is Snowflake Mountain. And you can only access that area by being in the plane. So it's quicker to just finish the race on the mat so you can immediately get his attention afterwards. And now we're flying off to
Yeah.
Snowflake Mountain.
Yeah, and Frosty Village.
So, cutscene skips prior, all of them were relatively easy to get because the game is very nice to us when we are crossing the finish line. There isn't a lot of lag. But this is our first example of one of the more difficult cutscene skips to get in the game because DKR, great game, but sometimes everything happening on screen causes us to lose a lot of frames. So,
Yeah, so it might sound weird that, like, well, it's a one-frame trick. Why would it be harder for some tracks than others? Well, yeah, as Sweener mentioned, the lag. The lag makes a huge difference. Sometimes it eats your inputs, and when it's not laggy at all, it's hard to pause buffer. And yeah, there are different difficulties with the different cutscene skips. So, yeah.
yeah, it's actually easier to get it on the first frame than to try to buffer it.
For sure.
Yeah. But if you miss it, you
Yeah,
lose 6 seconds. So it's
I usually do not
Sometimes
get the buffer here. You know, like
It's a really
I
tough.
don't. It's very rare. Yeah.
You're usually pretty good at this one.
I mean, getting it first try is fine, right? It's just the buffer. Like if you miss it, you're doomed.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
So let's
Yeah,
see
you
if
like
he
So
gets
let's see if we
to
jinxed him enough for him
Did we
to miss this.
No,
we got it.
And like a
Nice.
107. That was a very good time.
Yeah.
We're still perfect.
That was good.
9 frame perfect pauses
And
so far.
time to collect key number 2 as well.
Yes.
You might have noticed that at the beginning of each race, Obiyo is pausing and then restarting, and that is just so he can skip kind of the camera panning around the racers, and he can just get right to the race. But he didn't do it on this track, and because this is one of 2 exceptions where watching the camera pan around the racers is actually quicker than restarting the race. So this is it's on Snowball Valley, and the other one is Whale Bay, so you won't be seeing him do that strategy.
Key grab. Very clean.
Nice key grab.
Yeah.
That's stuck on
So-
the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but usually you want to have a boost there, but he missed the blue balloon because the turnaround is really slow when you don't have it.
Oh, snowball.
Oh wow, how is that a squish? I disagree with the game right there, but fine. Ooh,
Don't
don't
yeah,
click
don't
it.
It's not.
click the
It's not exist. Like not exist.
How did you do that?
Imagine.
Sometimes you do maneuvers a little too fast. You know, so you gotta slow down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obiyo is famously the fastest cutscene skipper around. For sure.
Yeah.
Like,
So notice the pause and restart here.
there it is.
As Trident mentioned earlier.
Obiyo is also known for his crazy plane skills, so maybe we'll get a little taste of that in this track here. Track
this is
that
actually,
Obiyo's
the-
very good at.
yeah, he's really good at this, and this is the perfect track to talk about like plane mechanics. The most shared fun fact about this level, assuming everything goes well, we never press the A button except for the beginning of the track here. So this entire route, this entire run, he will not be holding the acceleration at all. Barrel rolling and boosting is enough.
Yeah, so that's pretty insane. That's how a plane works in general. Just want to keep a boost speed over and over and over and over and over, and this is a beautiful track to show it.
the nice thing about Everfrost Peak is that you see Obiyo has made a few mistakes here, missing a balloon or a ground zipper here and there, but there's lots of backups in this track which make these tiny mistakes not as punishing as maybe some other tracks. Like still, 57 is still insane, and that was not a perfect Everfrost Peak for
57 is
Obiyo.
not a normal time. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he is.
Even though he missed a few things, yeah.
Absolutely
insane.
ridiculous.
I think only like 5-6 runners total have 57s. And this says a lot. And Walrus Cove. I'm not sure if we have a lot to say this track. Hopefully we won't hit the ice, but oh, we missed the balloon there. So usually I was just going to talk about the ending balloon because there are two strats you usually see. That Obiyo is using a strat where he's boosting over the little island or whatever you want to call it, but some runners are boosting it into the zipper on the small path. But the small island hop is a little quicker, but it's a little harder to execute perfectly.
It's really risky to do because we haven't seen it yet, and we probably won't. But the ice there, it's like a jello almost. You land on it and it just sends you bouncing back towards the track, which is a big speed loss. So doing it on that straightaway is a little bit safer, but hitting the ice, going off the slope here, yeah, okay, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
You
so
put
good.
yourself a lot more at risk for going flying off in a random direction by accident and then losing some time.
What a run this is
Yeah,
so
this
far.
is a
This is
crazy,
insane.
crazy start.
Killing
I
it.
just
So
cannot
nice.
believe how well this run is going. Like, I'm pretty sure this has to be my best pace ever. I wouldn't
Okay,
be
shush,
surprised about that.
shush. No more. Don't jinx it.
That's
Don't
Yeah,
jinx
that's
it.
not jinx it. Yeah, true.
Knock
true.
on the wood. Knock on it.
Exactly. So here we have Bluey, the well-dressed walrus.
Best boss race.
He is my
And
favorite
it's
boss.
he's really cool, and he is a bit unique, where you know, together with the tricky race, it's only a one-lap race, and that's something. There's a concept they actually, you know, give up on later, which is I'm not sure why, but that's what happens. Because tricky, you know, you go up. I mean, that's not what we did, but that's what you're supposed to do. Just go one lap. But this is also the same concept, you know, just go down the hill. But,
Yep.
yeah, all the other races have 3 laps, just like the regular races. Not sure why they abandoned. And now he's done here, and now he's going to reset the console to skip this cutscene where he's going to be like, oh, do the coin challenges and blah blah. And that might look even weirder than before, right? Because we haven't even done the coin races or the minigame. But don't worry, we'll be back.
Very soon. Overall, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys
Okay, Trident.
explained
No,
the
but it's time.
overcraft here.
It's time for Trident to explain this.
Me?
I'm not going to watch this race. It's the worst.
All right, so you might have seen a little bit of it in the Bluey race, but we are in the hovercraft, as you can see, and Obiyo is snaking back and forth, left and right, constantly. And this technique actually gives us a little bit of a boost in speed, and when you couple this with the A-tapping, you can get quite a bit of a speed boost from this. The problem with that is that this is a minute and change of just straight toggling between up left and up right, and that gets very taxing on the thumb after a while. So I think if you ask a good majority of the DKR community what their favorite race is, they probably won't tell you it's this.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a really rough one. It's taxing on the hand.
Yep.
So yeah, it's that when you hold R and you turn, you gain a small speed boost, or like not a speed boost, but a speed gain, and that's why you just keep going. Go in a straight line, getting that.
And it is interesting, but That was a very good hover challenge. I think, as you've said before, the reason they might have done that is to help you turn better. Because while the game is rendering, you know, whatever else it has to show you, it wants to prevent the lag from losing you speed, so it's going to speed you up a little bit.
But beware, if you hold R and drive straight and you don't do the snaking motion, you actually slow down. So, yeah, you need to keep turning, otherwise you're going to go slower than normal.
Alright, time for Giz's favorite track.
Treasure Caves. This is
Gross.
an interesting track because it's ooh, nice chain.
Very, very good.
So this is an interesting track because the newer runners love it because it's fast and short, and the top runners hate it. And well, not when it goes like this, then you love it.
Yeah.
But
At least it didn't bonk, you know? You could have been a lot worse there.
and the reason top players usually don't like this track is because it's
Wow, 3 for
triple.
3.
3 for 3.
39
That-
and a cutscene skip.
That strat is insanely hard.
Very
And
inconsistent.
like on average you hit like 1 or 2 of those as top players, and there's no really consistent good way of using the boost, even though that looked really consistent and easy. It's extremely hard to do. So yeah, top players think it's harsh to do it because of the inconsistency of the track.
Now it's time for the actual best track.
Sweener, you got to talk about this one.
Pirate Lagoon is so awesome. I think it really shows off all of Hover's strengths. Like, yeah, we have snaking and stuff. You almost never see that here. We'll go back and forth a little bit, but most of it is just boosting down corridors as fast as you can. And all these really sharp turns that look like they'd be really hard to make. Hover has so much flexibility that you can make them very, very easily. So it's a really, really fast, really intense course. But that can happen too, what just happened there. The AI are really jerks on this third lap.
Yeah, and sometimes you guys might be like, but when I turned when I was a kid, the turns were not this clean and, you know, that stuff. They were like, my vehicle just stopped in the turns. Well, how to prevent that is that you hold the R and A, or tap A depending on your speed, and you tap the B button to go through the corners tighter without losing the speed. And it's a bit finicky to learn, but it's super good, and you can do super clean turns with it. So holding A and R and the B button. So a lot of inputs, but yeah.
It is interesting because Hover at the top level is very forgiving, very fast, and it's actually a lot of fun. But it is definitely the hardest vehicle to learn how to play efficiently. So that's why a lot of newer players like to avoid it. But once you get the mechanics down, it's very flexible, and the only time you can ever really lose like a ton of speed is if you have like a head-on collision with a wall or
Key.
something. Yep, key.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I didn't forget.
so here's the key for Sherbet Island. After Obiyo gets the key, he's gonna just meet up with this wall here, and for some reason driving up against the wall there just gives you a little bit more speed than if you were just like in the water. So he's gonna do that to just go a little bit faster.
It's really weird. I don't know why that would be, because if you drive against the wall anywhere else on any other track, that's not at all what happens. So it's an interesting little quirk. This game has a lot of weird little quirks that allow us to go faster, but we have no idea why they work.
Can I also just say that these cutscene skips are frame perfect. I'm not sure if we mentioned that, and so far we are perfect. I just want to.
Yeah, this is the furthest I've gotten around without missing one. This is quite incredible.
But this one is probably the hardest cutscene skip to get. So good luck, Obiyo.
Yeah, this is another really tough one. There's a ton of lag at the finish line. But Whale Bay is an awesome track, so.
Because the boost speed you have here, as you can see, it's insane at the end, and that adds a lot of lag to the game.
Great whale jump. So a lot of people will probably remember that whale. He can be your friend or he can be your foe. We have to
Wow.
actually have to, yeah, that's insane. Holy crap. you have to time, if you tap the R button and hover, you'll do a little hop, and you have to time a hop at the apex of the whale's back. All right, that works.
You missed the last balloon there, but that was
I don't even,
like
I
that
don't even
laugh
know what
was
I'm watching anymore.
like I'm not kidding. I mean, I've been speedrunning this game for 7+ years, and so has Obiyo, but that was probably the fastest lap I've ever seen. In a little bit.
That was absurd.
Second lap.
Yeah, it's a shame I missed the third the last balloon. It might have been a Niall record, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was insane. Alright, so time for bubbler. Don't get the yellow start boost again. Good. Now it's a bit.
Are we,
Yeah, you really do not want to get the yellow start boot here. It's really bad.
are we going to be blessed this run with a big Giz impression?
Nah. I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe later.
We forgot to mention, but the octopus basically sells alcohol as he's moving.
He does.
Bad.
So pay attention next race. Next time we race him, like just pay attention. He's literally saying alcohol every time.
Yeah, so this is not... Maybe it was a preview for Conker's Bad Fur Day, I don't know.
Yeah.
Conker is in this game, so.
He sure is. It's his first game. And this is a nice bubbler. This is actually pays on to lap him.
Gonna get the lap
Yeah,
right at
As
the
you can
very
see,
end.
and I think... Yeah.
It's at 55.
Most... Yeah, look at he lapped him. Nice, and reset console. Let's go.
So now this is where things get kind of interesting.
Complicated.
Yeah, complicated is certainly a word.
Yeah, so now we have some luck and RNG and tricks and a lot of stuff up our sleeves here. So we can't really say where we're going until we've seen some more stuff here. But the next thing we're going to see is the plane challenge. And the plane challenge is a really cool race, which is very underrated in general, in my opinion. But since you're just driving around the overworld, but you barrel roll through the entire thing, and it's super good for practicing your plane mechanics.
Yeah, this is usually the track I recommend people to start with when they learn playing.
Yeah, when they start like trying to learn how to barrel roll well. But there are a lot of things you can crash into.
Yeah, but the problem with the other plane tracks is there's a lot of boost in them, or you're out of bounds usually. So, like, this is just the perfect track to train. Like, I remember when I, learned this game and I wanted to get better at playing, I just did this track over and over again.
Oh no.
There
Yeah.
we
A little
see
tree. A little tree in the way.
We can still get
plane
sub one.
challenge. But yeah, with Obiyo's skills, anything is possible.
Yeah, maybe
Just
One flat.
slightly off.
One flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
One
That's
flat.
still decent.
Darn.
Okay, so now we're really close to Dino Domain, and we forgot something in there, right?
I think so.
Oh, it was the trophy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the thing I told you to forget about, now you unforget that, like you remember.
Exactly.
So this is going to be the key to going fast in adventure mode, Diddy Kong Racing.
Exactly. So we actually didn't forget this, but yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. It's gonna be interesting, but we have a few minutes of racing. Dino Domain again. I hope you missed it because it's the best world game.
It is very good. It is the fastest trophy to do in the game. All these tracks are really, really quick. All of them can be done in under 1 minute. So I think usually, I can't remember, a good dyno race is like 3 minutes 40 seconds, or is it lower than that?
Yeah, sub 340. I think our best it's like 330-ish.
And trophy races are the best races because the game decides to try to make it a little bit more difficult for you by making the AI faster. And what this causes the AI to do is be in a different spot on every single track, which is a very, very good thing. Fossil Canyon gets a boost from it a little bit, but Jungle Falls gets buffed huge by being played in trophy races.
Oh yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, because when you do the normal race, the CPUs will be in the first like temple tunnel, but in the trophy race they will be in the slope afterwards. So tunnel is free, and that makes the race so much easier. You don't have to avoid CPUs in that tiny tunnel.
This Fossil Canyon is epic.
Yeah, what was that at 1808?
1808 is crazy. It's a
Yeah,
really,
that's a really good lap time.
No.
Oh,
I just say that I'm just a balloon.
that's okay.
Jinxing.
So you get like a
we try to
101.
jinx you as hard as you can.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
101.
guys are just jinxing my round right
whoops.
now.
A 101 is about average, you know, it's not terrible, but Obiyo's gonna want to
Yeah.
see some more sub ones in Fossil Canyon, I think.
So this is that tunnel we were just talking about here. When we drive through this on the second lap, since we're in the trophy race mode, typically the AI would be there, but trophy race mode makes them go faster, and we're gonna have a nice clean tunnel with no AI sticking around in it. Look at that. Oh, it's so nice.
Look at that.
I'm just gonna jump all over him like, see ya, bye.
Yeah, love to see it.
Sometimes the
Maybe this. No, sorry.
sometimes the AI can still be jerks, and they can either shoot you or they can have shields up, and if you run into them when they have the shields, then you spin out. So there is a thing that you can do though. At the beginning of that tunnel, there's a balloon that will give you a shield, and that sometimes can be used to help you avoid some of the trickery that the CPUs might throw at you.
And okay, guys, it's time.
It's time.
It's time for the beautiful pick here.
What? Wait. Are you kidding me?
I can't believe this.
All right.
Okay.
What just happened? Somebody please explain this to me.
Well,
Okay,
do you want to go for a Giz?
now you can do trend.
We're also gonna do Icicle Pyramid. So
All
that
right.
might
Well,
be.
first let's look at this.
Yeah, let's look at this.
People remember these battle mini games the most. I think this is what people talk about when it comes to multiplayer DKR. We have some strats that are really fun and allow us to beat this minigame very fast. And they involve camping, as we're gonna watch. Obiyo.
This is fine.
Yeah,
this is
I
fine.
missed
This is
stuff.
fine.
okay.
It's gonna be fine.
It's fine.
So this is a
So
legitimate strategy.
He's gonna be on the center. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Nice.
There you go.
Okay,
And
so let
so
me see if I can.
he accidentally missed a homing rocket there, but that was fine.
All right, let me see if I can quickly explain this. So we started the trophy race in Dino Domain, and on the Hot Top Volcano stage, we did our out of bounds clip as per usual, but we flew underneath the starting line into this mysterious loading zone, and it teleported us into the overworld on the Taj Mat. From there, we drove to Snowflake Mountain, and the game actually still thinks that we are in the trophy race right now, and we still have one race to finish. So Obiyo just lost in Icicle Pyramid on purpose, and we get a trophy somehow. For some reason, the game will take this loss in Icicle Pyramid and say that's the fourth race in the trophy race, you are done, and you've gotten 3 first places and a 4th place finish, and that equates to a gold trophy. And here's the thing though, it looks like it was in Dino Domain, but it's not. We actually just got the Snowflake Mountain trophy, and we did it without having to do all the other stuff that you usually have to do to unlock the trophy race. Now the cool thing about this is that, as Sweener said, the Dino Domain trophy is the fastest trophy in the game, and we're going to be using this trick called trophy storage to basically get all the trophies in the game in this way. And this saves a lot of time over having to do the trophy races normally in each world.
Yeah, saves about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to say, like, okay, so this was fourth race of the trophy, right? But he did the Icicle Pyramid before and won. That sounds weird, because that should have been the 4th race, right? Well, the TT amulet piece that he got for the win actually prioritizes over the race, so he could win there and get the so that would nullify the 4th race, and he would be able to do the 4th race again. And the reason you do it in that order is because it's a little faster for the overworld pathing.
No,
No.
So there it was,
I
everybody.
missed one. Yeah,
Yeah, the
there
lower
it
end
is.
Of the Frosty Village cutscene skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as
lots
Giz
of
said, it's faster to win first because after you win Icicle Pyramid, you will be outside of the Icicle Pyramid door and you can just go back in. If you did it in the reverse order, you'd actually spawn at the exit door to Snowflake Mountain and you'd have to drive all the way back to Icicle Pyramid. So that's why we win first and then lose.
Yep.
I did want to just comment. That Frosty Village coins was amazing.
Yeah, what was the final time of that? It's honestly a shame
It
that
was at
we
116, I think.
it was a 116.
Yeah.
That's
That's
still
pretty good.
very, very
Yeah.
good.
With the beginning was super rough because the CPUs were really mean to you. They can be very mean at the beginning of Frosty Village.
Sometimes if you like rub against an AI, you kind of get stuck in it. And so like I was kind of stuck in Pipsy, and so I lost a bunch of time because of that. But not much you can do.
Nope, that was a great race though.
So out of curiosity, Obiyo, do you know how many cutscene skips your current world record got?
I think it's 6, something around there.
Missed 6, okay.
It's missed
So
one.
just for chat, there's been lots of talk. They've been counting. Current world record missed 6 out of 40, so 34 total cutscene skips. So that was our first missed one. This is still like insane performance. This is very, very, very good.
Yeah, but more so because of the gameplay, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
He's been playing so well.
Oh, getting a
And
little
there
hung up
he
here.
yeah, but he held the A button there to shorten his barrel roll and to make it easier if he bonked. So he could accelerate quicker, but he didn't bonk really. But that's a good maneuver. Oh,
Very clean.
yeah, and you see the barrels, beautiful.
Oh. Sometimes it can be quite a
wow.
bit
Those
hard to get easily.
hitboxes.
Yeah.
Yep, he clipped right through that one.
Yeah, so
Nice cutscene skip.
zipper hitboxes on each track are usually pretty good. There's a few instances where they're not very nice, but balloons are the main culprit. If you are going too fast in this game sometimes, or even if you have a slightly incorrect angle, you will just drive straight through the blue balloon, which is really cool.
Yep.
There's not much you can do about it other than maybe slow down, but obviously we're speedrunning, so we don't want to go slow. We want to go fast. So you kind of have to just go for it, as TT would say, and hope for the best.
Yeah, for sure. And also, what's pretty cool now is that, for 100% you need to, get 8 balloons from the worlds and the trophy and the minigame, the amulet piece and stuff, and the Whizbig amulet piece. And after this race, we're going to go to Bluey for the second time, and after that, we're actually going to be done here because we got the trophy for Snowflake Mountain earlier. So this is finally the second last race you will see of the Snowflake Mountain this run.
No more snow.
No more
That's okay.
Christmas.
The snow world is actually probably the hardest in the game. There is Future Funland, of course, but some of these coin tracks can be very, very difficult to do well, and Obiyo's been killing it, so.
Yes. And also a thing that's interesting is that you saw like earlier with the wrong warp that he got into the overworld, and on the Japanese version he's playing on right now, there are 3 different spots you can end up in, and it's the overworld, it's in Dragon Forest with a car, and in Dragon Forest with a plane. And getting up in Dragon Forest with a car is about 80% chance. Getting into Dragon Forest with a plane is about 10%, and overworld is about 10%. And usually, you get the dragon car, as we call it, warp, and then you usually go to Sherbet Island first. But since he got the overworld warp here, he went to Snowflake Mountain first. And the reason for that is because it's faster. Like when you get that rare warp, it's faster to go to Stoneflake Mountain because you're so close to it. So that's something that's interesting about this run in general, that depending on the wrong warp RNG you get, you actually have to reroute. So if you watch a run, like, or a runner do a run of this, sometimes they have to skip a lot of splits, and that's why.
Yeah, so we have a lot of different routes that can possibly happen. We'll see a reset here because we want to go back to the overworld, but once again, we don't want to watch the cutscene.
Yeah, so we're about to set up another trophy storage because we're gonna do the same thing, but this time with Sherbert Island.
Exactly.
You get the trophy
So-
there. So
so we
I think
need-
this is like a great time for donation actually, because we've been talking for so long.
Sure. And also remember to switch vehicle.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I can definitely bring some donations here. We have a $1,400 donation from an anonymous donor.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
love Diddy.
Cow.
Crazy.
I love Diddy Kong Racing. So exciting to see a 100% run at GDQ. And we have a $10 donation from Gray Falcon. Gotta get one in for the game that got me into watching speedruns. Diddy Kong Racing. Good luck, Obiyo. Can I get a get ready, go from the host?
Already got it.
There we go. And we have a $25 donation from Prometheus, and this is a haiku. A chat full of lamps, a clock racing against time, must be GDQ. Thank you very much.
That brought me to tears, frankly.
Beautiful.
And we have a $5,000 donation from Fangamer.
Wow.
Dang.
Hi everyone, Fangamer is excited to once again partner with GDQ to bring you awesome new event merch. 100% of the profits from sales through the end of AGDQ 2021 supports the Prevent Cancer Foundation. The official virtual attendee badge is back again with a foil upgrade goal if 500 are sold by the end of the event. We also have a brand new limited edition finale game lapel pin, a color-changing mug, new GDQ logo pins, and socks, plus reprints of fan favorites including the pullover hoodie, face mask, blanket, and more. You can see our full lineup at fangamers.com/GDQ. Good to keep going?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Ah,
good.
sure.
Excellent.
Probably another minute.
All right, awesome. We have a $25 donation from BitDragon. First donation for this year, hope to do more. This has been a rough year for everyone, but I've been lucky to connect with everyone through gaming. Diddy Kong Racing is one of my favorite games from childhood. So fun to watch. Get ready, go. We have a $100 donation from Just Gus. Gotta help hype up one of my favorite games as a kid. Love Diddy Kong Racing. Here's to a great AGDQ. We have a $250 donation from I Am Given. Take names, go fast, leave cancer in the dust, and send Whiz Pig packing. And we have a $300 donation from Olympus. Hello to the DKR crew and good luck to Obiyo on the run. Runner's choice for incentive.
Thank you,
Love you,
Olympus.
Olympus.
Shout out to Olympus.
Yeah, that's the boy.
We have $50 from Dark Suplep. Hope I'm saying that right. Good luck with the Diddy Kong Racing Run, Obiyo.
Thank you.
All right. So now maybe we should check what kind of wrong warp we get here.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Chat, you have to.
Let's go another
go.
overworlds. Why not?
Overworld.
Another
Dragon
overworld. That would
Car,
save another
Dragon
6
Plane.
seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, Overworld would save 6 seconds. Save 10 earlier. Dragon car.
All right. Standard.
Womp womp.
The standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still fine. That's still fine.
So that is the most common warp you'll get. It's like usually 80% of the time. So
Yep.
typically a lot, most runs will see like all Dragon Car. So
Darkwater Beach now. Whew.
Time for my favorite.
This one is tough.
Favorite part.
Yeah, you gotta talk about this one.
So I know Bio. This is probably not his favorite part of the run, but we're gonna hopefully see some
Classic.
And
Well,
okay, so you know
I
what?
messed up the
fine.
strat.
It's fine. There's a pretty crazy strat you can do here, but it requires some pretty precise single rocket shots. He unfortunately missed the first one, so we're just gonna camp this red balloon, and we're just gonna spray and pray, as they say.
Exactly.
Once again,
If I could get the balloon, it would help.
Oh, geez, this balloon.
just camping. Perfectly legitimate strategy, you know.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Doesn't look
Yeah,
like
it's-
it, but just turning around and hover like this is actually really hard.
Oh yeah, it's really hard. But yeah, it was a shame that you missed the first shot there, because that strat is actually super cool. But you know,
Yeah,
just
but-
follow Obiyo and watch it another time.
Yeah. Obiyo
It's-
could have opted to lose there intentionally, and then he could go back in and try the strat again. But it's fine. Just do the camping strat.
I mean, whatever comes to mind first is the best, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
because
It's fast.
shouldn't
Okay,
second
no
guess
time
it.
for hesitation.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
And there it is.
Yeah.
And now you all know what's gonna happen.
Here we go.
Bam, some trophy points.
Another
and bam.
one.
yep. And we did. I'm not sure if we commented this on Snowflake Mountain, but this is the reason why we skipped doing the coins in our first trip here, is because we knew we had to come back to get our trophy. So might as well just skip the cutscene of the boss, and we're back here in Sherbet Island. So no better time than now to do these coin races. And we did the same thing with Snowflake Mountain.
Yeah, and here we're gonna see Obiyo fly, I think.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's see if he can do. This is a fun strat. Let's see. Here we go.
Let's go.
Didn't quite fly as much as I hoped for, but
It's still clean.
It
Yeah,
really
still
takes
good
a-
though. Still super good though, because you grabbed the balloon.
One more.
Because that's something that's also really cool. That if you boost with a balloon. Oh, okay. If you boost with a balloon into a zipper, you actually get additional speed. So that can be used sometimes, which is super cool, like you saw there. Oh,
Shucks.
the cutscene's good.
Ew.
Two misses
Yeah,
are really good.
two missed cutscene skips. Don't get it twisted. Two missed cutscene skip at this point of the run is freaking insane. So
Yeah, it's God tier.
We're still
It's
we're
really
still
good.
on really good pace to make some good numbers.
We're back on the good track.
Yes.
Yeah. But this time we're collecting coins.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
It's a real pirate level.
Yeah. Oh, the doubloons. This is a weird one though. This is a really good example, I think, of silver coin routing is very strange. There are some tracks where it makes a lot of sense, and this one, it doesn't really seem like there is a best strategy. Like you could pick them up on any lap in anywhere you want, and they're all kind of about the same speed. So it's really hard to tell execution-wise what is fastest here. I think all of us probably do something slightly different from the other.
Yeah, I usually get all the coins on the first lap, but I think it's the exact same. It's just as fast as what Obiyo is doing here, because I skip a balloon, but he ends up he doesn't have to skip a balloon on the second lap. So they're
Yeah,
pretty
right.
comparable.
This is super good though. 56.
Beautiful.
Okay, really good.
And the skip, like 1 million miles over the line, but still the first frame
Yeah.
says something about the speed.
Cutscene skips are super weird. Like, it's easier to get them the faster you're going, which you wouldn't think, seeing as it's a frame perfect trick. But a lot of these tracks end with a huge boost as you go over the finish line, and those are the best ones. But Crescent Island here is a good example where we just kind of have to drive over it like a wet noodle, and it's not horribly difficult. But I'd say I would prefer to be going at Mach 5 and then pausing.
Yep, for sure. And also something that's really interesting is you will see when he goes towards the boat here after the boost. Oh god.
Oh,
Cool terrain.
That happens sometimes.
good geometry.
So here you can see that he's flying towards, like you see the car was leaning, like tilting backwards. Well, something that's really cool is that not only in hover or plane, you can actually in car too, lean backwards, and like if you hold back on the stick, you will tilt backwards, and then you can gain air. So if you look at this again, do it right now, so I can. Yeah. So you gain a lot of.
for the example.
Yeah. So you can gain air because you don't lose speed as quickly while in the air. So yeah, you can do that kind of stuff and manipulate the height of the car.
Ooh, great question, Chet. Are the bananas meaningful at all?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Very, very
And
important.
Trident answered. Yes.
Sure. So each banana that Obiyo is going to collect here is going to increase his top speed and acceleration by about 2.5%. And once you grab 10 bananas, then you are maxed out, and your speed and acceleration is increased by, let me do the math, 25%.
Yep. And
So it's kind of like coins in Mario Kart. Very similar concept.
yep, for sure.
So that's why
So
you'll
it's
see.
very important.
Yeah. So that's why you'll see Obiyo typically on the first lap trying to get as many bananas as he can. You know, not going too much out of the way, but.
But look at this. We only have 6 here, and for some tracks, it's actually not worth going for the 10 where the cap is, because
They're too far out of the way.
Yeah.
yeah. And Whale Bay, we said it. That's the hardest one in the game, and he missed the 2 hardest ones in the game, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, if you come in for the one in Wellblade with a lot of speed, it's a lot easier because you can. It's like what's hard about it is not only the lag, but the fact that like the reference point is underneath the water.
Yeah.
True.
It's like kind of hard to know when to press the button. But then if you come with a lot of speed, it makes it a lot easier for that.
Yeah, for sure. And as usual, don't get good. Because the thing is, if you get a yellow start boost there, Bubbler will actually go like be ahead of you, and that can be very annoying. You can't really pass him until he has dropped a certain set of bubbles. So getting a yellow start boost loses around 5 seconds for this race. This is very punishing. But you know, top runners like Obiyo generally don't miss that. But you know, sometimes you're off.
I hope you guys heard the alcohol, by the way. I forgot to remind people, but
Oh yeah, it's
I swear that's what he said.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're saying.
no doubt.
They're saying in the chat. Don't worry. And here in the second race, they have taken away one of the blue balloons, so we can't do it as fast. It's hard to. It's kind of almost impossible to lap him here, Bubbler. But you can see we're pretty close. And reset the console. And yeah, now we're done with Sherbet Island. We're not going to go back there again. That part of the run is done.
Yeah, so this is usually the part where stuff gets real. If you're on good run, because the next bit of the run's going to be very hard.
Oh yeah. Something we can talk about here maybe is if you would watch Trident's stream, he would do some different menuing here in the beginning. Why? Why Trident?
Well, I opt to turn off the music here, which is about a 7-second time loss. But this segment is actually quite long without a console reset. And by turning off the music, you can actually reduce a little bit of the lag. And this gives you the potential to go a little bit faster. And over the course of this long segment, I could potentially gain the 7 seconds and some back if I played quite well. But Obiyo decides not to, and frankly, I don't blame him. He can play this game just as well with the music on. So he's gonna keep it on, and you know what? It's probably good because this music is kind of awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the OST is really, really good in this game. I hope everyone's enjoying it as much as I do.
Oh yeah. There's been many comments. Lots of sour pleas in the chat.
Love to see that.
Yeah, because if you see, for example, all trophy races runs, which is one of the other main categories, you never see people play with music because you only do the races in a row, basically like a Mario Kart speedrun or whatever, where you just do the the cups, and it saves about 20 seconds over the course of a 25-minute run there. So you have to turn it off if you want to go for top times, and yeah, it's a shame, but after having speedrun the game for many years, you get used to it. And also, if you get into the time trialing community, most of the time trials also have music turned off. But I know that it sounds horrible and that we were horrible people for turning it off, but you get used to it.
Oh yeah.
It does actually feels nicer to play on a lot of level. Like there's some levels where it's like a huge difference in terms of like how it plays, music versus not music.
Yeah.
And
Jungle.
on some levels way better.
Jungle Falls is one of them where you could play with music on or off, and for whatever reason you can get very similar times. But others, like Frosty Village, where we were talking about all the lag problems, having music off for that in an all trophy races run, it's almost a completely different track. Like you just have so many more frames, and a lot of your inputs don't get eaten. It's very, very helpful to being more consistent.
Yep. Sure. But it's definitely an interesting thing about the speedrun in this game.
And I believe that's the case with pretty much every N64 game. Is the music is causing lag, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, but it's I don't know, it's very consistent. Like in a game like Mario Kart 64, the rivaling game to this one, it's pretty consistent. But yeah.
So,
and yeah.
we've done this trophy race a few times now, but if you remember, we actually didn't finish the Dino trophy race because we've always warped out and finished it somewhere else. But we still need the Dino Domain trophy, so we're actually going to finish this one. And that's what Obiyo is doing right now. So we're not taking the warp this time. We're actually going to finish this race out and get our Dino Domain trophy.
So it looks weird, but this is the third time we're doing the trophy, and finally we're actually getting it.
Yeah. This one is actually in Dino Domain. No fooling this time.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually, I mean, not sure if anyone thought about it earlier, but there was no trophy on top of the podium earlier, but there's going to be one right now. Let's see. Ta-da.
Magic.
yay.
So we're gonna set up
And now-
another trophy storage right here. Obiyo, is this a good time for more donations?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably a good time for donations.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we have $25 from Dr. Fish, giving a shout out to Obiyo, Giz, Trident, Sweener, and the rest of the awesome DKR, RTA, and Time Trial community. Love you all. Let's make 2021 better than last year.
Thank you, Fish. Fish is also the homie.
Yes, Fish is awesome.
Sure is.
Very true.
We have $100 from Jetty. Love Diddy Kong Racing. Hoping WizPig doesn't give you any ang. My name's Crunch. We have $75 from Peegs. Love me, the DKR fan. Heart. Keep it up. God Bio.
Peaks.
Thank you, Keith.
Very good plane player.
Yes.
Sure is.
And we have $25 from Atomic Otaku. Hello, Obiyo, commentators, and everyone from the DKR community watching from home. Your hard work and prep getting ready for this run was awesome to see, and it's paying off well. I wish you good luck and a 4th try Dragon Plane.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Hope you're doing good in
Yeah.
Canada, Atomic.
Shoutouts to Atomic.
You have time for more?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. We have $100 from SD. First time watching live instead of VODs. Really excited to see the community come together for charity, especially in these challenging times. And we have
One more.
We have $50 from Bonsai. Longtime watcher, but finally can afford to donate. Let's beat cancer.
All right.
We have. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can do one more. Yeah, that's fine. For sure.
We have $10 from Martin. Really happy to have another GDQ during these difficult times. Good luck to all the runners.
Awesome. And
Alright.
now, yeah, Obiyo.
So
do you think?
we're approaching the part of the run that usually goes wrong for me. So as I say that, it's already going wrong, great. But yeah, so instead of warping out to somewhere else, what we want here is to warp into a dragon forest because that's the next world we're going to be working towards.
Yeah. There's a 90% chance of getting there now, so what can go wrong?
Yeah. So there's a 10% chance of actually getting thrown into the overworld and losing 15 seconds. So hopefully that doesn't happen because it actually does tend to happen on good runs. So
We already got overworld. It's not happening. We're gonna get Dragon Plane,
It's
though.
impossible.
maybe. I mean, Dragon Plane would be the nice one here. Well,
Okay.
we didn't get it. That's fine.
Another standard.
Yeah, Dragon Car is good.
Yes,
Dragon Car
that's
is
still okay. And he's gonna go to Haunted Woods. We don't have a fast mini game to do here. So Haunted Woods is a regular race. This is the only one where we do a normal race to get the trophy with.
good. Actually, the one of two. Is for Alpha.
Oh, that's true.
If you can count that as normal, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, the minigame in this world is not a battle minigame, so you can't really lose it very quickly. Like actually trying to lose this minigame would be
Very slow.
yeah,
Like 5
quite
minutes
torturous.
slower.
So we're just
It's
gonna
actually harder to lose it than win it, I feel like. It's not
Yeah.
even a joke.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Haunted Woods.
so Obiyo's gonna
is
do
also
the shortest track here instead.
Yeah, this song is a banger. This is one of my
Sure is.
favorites in the game. Love it.
43.
Very, very good time.
That's crazy.
And that's a weird track too, because there are no blue balloons on it whatsoever. Nothing. So it's all how accurate you are with hitting the zippers.
All right,
Yes,
time for
sir.
a good track.
Windmill
Kappa.
Plains.
Not looking forward to this.
Alright, so we've seen a couple different plane out of bounds in this run so far. This is probably the most notorious one of them all. Obiyo was actually the one to implement this into runs. It was previously thought to be too risky and too hard. But we've gotten a lot better at it over the years, and it's an interesting one.
He's gonna nail this clip right now. Look.
No. I'm not trying it another time.
Alright,
Another try.
another try. One more. So yeah, this is a very, very unforgiving clip.
Oh.
Time trials.
Yeah, that was a bad setup. Well, it's
Wow.
okay. Next
Just
lap.
keep going.
Next lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
wow.
what he's
I thought you were
trying
going to go
to
for the
do
double
there,
bullet. Oh my god.
Shambles.
backflip, pog. It's a good luck backflip. A very, very common thing you'll see in DKR speedruns. But
And even though he turned around and did all that stuff, he's ahead of the CPUs
yep,
again.
he's in first already. So, yeah, what he's trying to do here is he's trying to boost and barrel roll over this hill, and there's a very small space between the ceiling and the terrain that you can slip out. Like that.
There we
go.
Perfect. That's exactly what
Beautiful.
we're looking for.
Nice.
Beautiful. So he's out of bounds now. This is great, very good. But this is actually the hardest out of bounds to traverse. There's all kinds of water. The walls are really close and tight together. It's very easy to accidentally clip back in bounds. And if you go too low, you'll actually warp back to the finish line and lose all of your lap progress. So it's really, really scary.
Well,
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, oops.
That's actually okay. That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
He still has to get the cutscene skip. Easy game.
Got him.
Nice.
Nice. So, yeah, that's a really tough trick, but next time he's going to get it first try.
Yeah, we have another shot at redemption here.
Yes,
So
we'll see that one more time, and it is a very unforgiving trick. Very, very, like, especially at this point in the run. It's something for world record that is required now, I think, and to get this far with good RNG and good luck and stuff, and then miss it is kind of, it can be really harsh. Trident and Obiyo, I think, can both speak to that.
yeah, there's maybe like 5% of my run that gets even there, and probably half of them die to the trick, so
Yeah.
really harsh.
So thumbs up, cool trick.
And And for the casual players out there, you might remember this track, especially the coin race. But even though this is a very tough track for beginners or casual players, it's generally not that difficult for speedrunners. It's there's a lot of sharp turns and stuff, but
Yeah, for me this
when
is
you
like
learn the mechanics well, it's not.
this is like an
tough.
S tier car track for me. I love Greenwood Village. Very, very fun track.
I do too. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, all these people in my call love this track. I absolutely despise it. This is not a good track, but I guess it's okay.
Dang.
Dang.
That's another.
But you know, these guys, like, obviously we have one funny thing in the community is that we have like so many different opinions on like which track is good. It's crazy. Like not one person thinks the same.
And it's funny because we have these conversations all the time. But the truth is, there really isn't a bad track in this game. They are all pretty fun.
Yeah, except for Hobbit Challenge. But yeah.
Yeah. What's lower than F
So-
tier?
It's hover tier.
Hover challenge tier.
All right, so here in Boulder Canyon, we're gonna grab the last key. So then we have fulfilled our, I don't know what to call it, but we have, collected all the keys we have in the run, and that was one of the things we needed to 100% the game.
Oh,
Right?
I got stuck on the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you didn't get it.
You're
That was
super-
terrifying for a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, I didn't think I got a little bit of lag, so I didn't see if he got it, but. Alright. Good.
We got it.
Yeah.
Perfect grab.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes,
But you got squished
collision-
on the way back.
The collision with the bridge can be a little weird sometimes. You can like you can get like the squishing sound, like you're being squished even though like you're driving on top of the bridge. It's really strange.
Yeah, for sure.
I do think the keys in this game are like some of the most. It's like the weirdest game design choice ever, but it's almost like a like a Banjo-Kazooie, like a collectible game, because you get to like drive around the track and look around and explore and try to find them. Before I started running this game, there were multiple replays I had done where I forgot what level the key was on, and I just drive around all the tracks trying to find it, and that was actually really fun. So it's weird that they chose to put it up there, but it's also kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. And I also want to say something that might be weird to the audience here, is that drawbridge, if you feel like that's a really good way of stopping the CPUs from driving forward, you are not right.
Why is that?
because in this game, it's weird that the CPUs will only interact with objects if you are watching them. So if they are in your field of vision. But if you are first and you will, put up the drawbridge and you're like, haha, they are going to get stuck. Well, look at the minimap. They're just going to drive in the air, ignore the fact that you pull it up. And yeah, you can do a lot of interesting things with that. But that actually goes for the green, or like the green balloon, where you have the oil spill and that kind of stuff too. So if you just drop it, and you drive as quickly as Obiyo, guess who's going to touch that to the next lap? Well, it's actually going to be yourself, because the CPUs can't touch it. So yeah.
And this brings us to the
Sweener, it's
the
your
last
time.
newest trick. Yeah, Sweeney, you gotta take this one.
All right, Smokey the Dragon. So me and Smokey, we're good pals. One day I'm hanging out in his track here. And previously, we did not have any way to cheat this track, get out of bounds like we've seen many other times. But after some messing around and pure luck and serendipity, we did find one. This is a really, really weird clip. I don't know if anyone in this chat has any idea why it really works. Nice, we're out, first try.
Nice,
Very,
first
very
try.
good. So what we saw there is he like bonked into the side of the hill, and it flung him upwards through the game ceiling. And in like literally every other scenario in the game, that is just not how it works. Usually the ceiling would stop you from getting out, but for some reason hitting the hill at that angle just lets you go out of bounds.
You got one
Well,
more
let's
left
go-
to
Also,
go.
go
real quick.
Look at this.
Well, look at
I lied. Just 48 balloons. There's one there.
So what's really funny about this is there is actually a golden balloon out of bounds here that spawns every time you load the track in a fresh game, and you can actually duplicate that balloon over and over and over again until you reach the max balloon count. So it's like a really weird little Easter egg. It's something that the devs just kind of left in, and we're able to get that now. It's not really used in any runs. We do have a source requirement, so all 47 golden balloons do have to be gotten from their original spot. But it is a really fun little thing to mess around with. Giz,
Oh, yeah.
I think you did a 100 balloon.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can get up to 99 balloons, but when you get to the 100th and you try to quit, the file will be corrupt. And then it will say that you have 90 balloons, and you will never be able to enter the file again. So you can get as many balloons as you want, but if you get 100, then the file is going to be corrupt forever. And yeah, Smokey. Oh, we didn't mention this, and now we kind of missed it, but one thing that's really interesting is that for the car minigames, you can actually start backing up before the get ready, go thing is done. So, I'm not sure if anyone caught that, but he fell down and started early when the others were standing still on top of the hill still.
Cheater.
But it's pretty cool. So if anyone has the game and wants to try it, just try to back up while in the car minigame and you can do it. And it's used in both Icicle Pyramid and in Smoky Castle.
Yeah, the interesting about that is that we only found out, well, Giz only found out that because he was watching a casual player, and the casual player did that, and we were like, wait, we can't go backward?
Yeah. And then in the same day, I created the fast strat you saw in Icicle Pyramid earlier.
Yeah, and I did this strat
Sort of.
for this mini game.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Silver coin time, and we're back in Windmill Plains. Will you be doing the hard route, Obiyo?
Or you
Well,
or
we're
you
not
going
about
to
the first lap. Yeah.
advance first lap?
All right, so yeah, this is a good
Well,
silver
if I
coins
did it.
example. We're gonna take a really weird angle to get this blue balloon and this golden coin.
How
So
did
that
you
we-
get that balloon?
That was insane, actually. Yeah, really strange hitbox there. And then we're gonna go out of bounds on lap 1.
And
Oh
Hey,
yeah, that's what I'm
nice.
talking about.
Redemption.
Sweet. So, well, wait a second. We didn't get the other silver coins. Well,
no, but that's fine.
that's okay.
We're just gonna go back in bounds on lap 3.
Exactly. And this is faster, so we kind of start with about half of the silver coins, and then right before we finish the third lap, we'll go back in bounds and grab the rest of them, and then finish. Very fast strategy, but again, you are relying on getting the clip on your first lap. If you don't, then it's kind of a time loss anyway.
Yeah, but it's not that bad because then you can just keep collecting the coins and then go out of bounds on the second lap, and you don't have to worry about going back in bounds on the last lap again.
Right.
So it's a good idea too.
Oh
Wow.
no.
That was a one hitbox.
Yeah. You fell for that. The classic one to fall for that box right there. But still a 121, which is still a solid time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alright guys, it's time for this one. Do you think Obiyo will win? Type 1 in chat.
I'm gonna lose here, it's too hard.
Yeah, let's see if he can beat the CPUs here for the hardest coin race according to casual players that I've heard all over, you know, the world and time, or whatever you want to call it.
This is a fun one to route. It's interesting to figure out. But we are seeing some 2s in chat here, Obiyo. I don't know.
I mean, I might go down the quote-unquote shortcut for that, you know?
Oh yeah, this is actually funny. you know, there's a well in this track where you can go down, but it's a lot slower to go down it. So
Let me show it actually. I'm gonna go down the well and just
Let's go.
see how much slower it actually is.
There's
It's
nothing
cool.
down there but
Five of
time
us.
loss.
exactly.
It's sadness.
Just red
Oh, I got
numbers.
stuck.
Wee.
I
Look
kind
at
of got
that.
stuck on the edge.
Oh
Wow.
wait, I'm
Look how
sorry.
fast
There's
this is.
bananas and a zipper. I lied. It's been a long time since I've gone down there.
Yeah, it's probably been years as well.
Oh man, it's so bad. Oh, and they didn't even put a coin there in the Adventure 2. Like,
Oh darn.
they put it over the well, so you have to like fly over the well.
Is
There's nothing in there.
Is that 4 now or 5?
That's 5.
I think it's
Or
5.
Okay, that's still really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually how my run goes. At the beginning it's better, and then it's like, just start missing them, you know.
Yeah, but it's hard. And here we
Can't
have
press hard enough.
Boulder Canyon coins is, I don't know, I feel like this is, even though Boulder Canyon is hard, this coin challenge is not that difficult.
I like this one a lot, actually.
It's another
Yeah.
one that's really interesting to route. There are different strats you can use here. Generally speaking, they are all kind of. You'll see actually, Obiyo's going to skip a few to get these bananas.
And generally, what I think Obiyo's going to get the rest of these coins on the second lap, but I generally save them for the third lap so that I can try to catch up to the CPUs and try to pass them so I can reduce a little bit of lag later. But getting the coins on this lap is fine, and trying to chase the CPUs is actually quite difficult. So
For sure.
yeah.
There's a lot of lag in that section.
Yeah.
We flew over it.
Hey, you guys can probably count the frames. Like, it's not lag from the internet, it's actually the game.
It's the game. Yeah, it's like 12 FPS or something.
Yeah. Do not adjust your TV set.
Another.
Darn.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I did very well cutscene skip wise for a very long time, and I'm very happy for that. Like, if I miss every single one now, it's fine.
Well,
I've got enough.
yeah, this is maybe a bit of self-prophesizing from Obiyo here, but this is still an incredible run so far. Like,
Oh yes.
the few mistakes that he's made are not even really that bad.
Yeah, it's like the Windmill Plains one was basically the only one that's worth mentioning, in my opinion.
Yep.
And it's so hard to be consistent in this game. It's super fast, and yeah, everything is like super complex controls and mechanics. It's really crazy. Slam into some walls here, though.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
Get
that one's
me
with all
out
the
of
AI
Dragon
there.
Forest.
Yeah, it was not kind.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the out of bounds again, and then we're gonna reset because basically we have done everything except the last world. But to get to the last world, we still need to beat the first Wispig race, so that's what we're gonna do after this.
Yep, and just like we did with the other bosses, we're not too interested in hearing what Smokey has to say after this race. And we're going to the overworld anyway, so we're just going to reset the console, and that's quicker than watching the cutscene and traveling back to the overworld.
Good question in
Especially since we need the plane.
chat. Is this being done on a traditional N64 controller?
So, yes and no. I do have. I am using an N64 controller, but I do have a stick that is called a steel stick, which is basically what it sounds like. It's a stick made of steel. So, but the shell is essentially the same. It's an N64 shell, and the reason I have a stick like that is because the game, without like the over snaking and just drifting and everything, it wears out the sticks a lot, like really quickly. And by getting that custom stick, basically it never wears out, and I don't have to buy new controllers every 3 months. So
How many?
That's what I'm using for this game.
How many OEM sticks have you snapped to Obiyo?
I have two controller that have snap stick literally in half by doing hovercraft. So yeah.
Steel stick sounds
Yeah, that
fancy.
happens.
Yeah.
One of them
yeah.
was doing crunch hovercraft too. So
Oh,
Even I
gross.
have.
don't do that.
Definitely not recommended. I've snapped a stick myself, and then other controllers they get so worn down that the what do you call it? The reach on them.
Dead zone.
The dead zone just it's totally shot. So that's not my favorite thing in the world. That I do feel like I can't play as well if the dead zone isn't like doesn't feel right. So there have been multiple other controllers that I have just put aside simply because of that. Super rough on your controller.
Yeah, I think before I got this stick, I went through like 6 controllers in 2 years
Wow.
or something like that. And yeah, ever since I've got this, I've never had to buy any other controllers, so it's been great for my my money.
I'd say. All right.
Good investment.
Whizpig time.
Time for Whizpig. Yeah.
How are we feeling
He
on
says you
Whizpig?
can't beat him.
I love the Whizpig race. This one is we commonly call this the childhood breaker, because Whizpig
Yeah.
as a kid, or if you play this in your childhood, this is a really hard race, like super difficult. But naturally, not only are we using TT, but we also have some speedrunning strats to use, so we're gonna go real fast here.
Yeah, I remember getting stuck here for literally years before I could beat it. Now it's just blast routes. It's great.
Yeah, and he's, as you can see, he's trying to maintain like air time.
Okay, this lap is insane.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I don't
20,
know
that was
what speed
unreal.
was that.
2306.
Music on.
Wow.
That's
So yeah, you can see he's trying to like drift up the hills in the air, as much air as he can, to as much speed as he can. Coming up. But that's fine.
You ruined it.
Might be.
reset.
Yeah, pretty
Still-
reset worthy.
Still
Yeah.
110 pace.
Yeah, this is great. Like, if you get anything near 110, it's really good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
That was really scary.
Yeah.
Started the drift a little early.
TT almost went in the drink there, and going into the water at that particular moment is not the best because you actually have to turn around and drive back onto the track.
It was just like 15 plus seconds. And yeah, reset the console again, so we don't have to watch a 5-minute cutscene of Whizpig
Yes,
being
sir.
mad, animals partying, credits and stuff like that.
It's a good cutscene, but we don't want to watch it, right? And we have to wait until the actual cutscene starts. Otherwise, it's not saved yet. So like right after the race, I have to wait until it starts to reset.
Yeah, it's
So otherwise, we have to
interesting.
do it again.
It's interesting the way they did that, because for all the other bosses, they save the frame after the race is done, but for Whizpig, for some reason, they save when the cutscene starts. Very weird.
Time for Lighthouse rocket ship.
This is the best cutscene on an N64. Like, you guys agree?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
absolutely. It's amazing. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Back when this game came
Blast off!
out. Just a quick transform to a rocket ship, and okay, away we go.
So Dragon Forest was a little rough for Obiyo, but Future Funland is Obiyo's home.
Oh yes,
Yes.
I don't think
All my favorite tracks are here,
No.
pretty much.
No jinx whatsoever.
No, this
Yeah.
is
No,
like
no, no.
there is
You
no
can't-
one better
yeah.
at these tracks than Obiyo.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly jinx Obiyo here. He's too good.
He's been known for years to be the future Funland Beasts.
Oh,
And of
awesome
course he cuts
balloons.
through the both balloons.
course.
Look at this. This is what I was
Nice
talking about
jinx.
earlier. If you're going too fast or you have like a weird angle, the game's just like, nope, sorry, buddy. Try again next lap. Bye.
And we have to jinx him like this because otherwise we'll never beat him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Still gets a 28.
Yeah, it's still a good
yeah,
lap.
so yeah.
And we
there
get the
go.
double. Yep. So Space Dust
Ah.
Alley. This is.
That's right.
Ah, shucks. Yeah, that's rough. This is the hardest plane track in the game. Plane is already a very difficult vehicle, but there is an unreal amount of obstacles here to get around, while also trying to collect bananas, keep from getting shot down by spaceships and AI. Don't run into any of these huge pillars in here. There's also these giant meatballs flying around by the finish line that you don't want to get hit by. You really don't know where they're going to be either when you cross the finish line. So it's a rough one. But
Yeah.
we're going to see the cutscene skip coming up here, and there's going to be some special things to talk about this time, though.
Yes.
No, oh my god. Okay, that's
Oh,
fine.
dude.
Pressing again.
The classic. That is.
That's fine. We'll get it again.
That's probably the worst thing that can happen.
Yes. So that's you know, very very. You're trying to do a frame perfect trick, and you're also trying to menu fast. So if you
So yeah, I press A before going down the menu basically. So I just exited out of the menu and then didn't use the cutscene skip. That's basically what
and
happened there.
I would say that is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is pausing too early before you cross the finish line, and then either restarting the race or returning to the lobby. That is rough.
But that has happened before. I think everybody here has done that before
Yes.
at least once.
And then you just turn your
Yeah, of
console
course.
off and walk away.
It's a rite of passage.
Oh yes. Oh, let's go.
You should only do them the last time, I think. I was scared over here. He attempted to do a cool thing there, but you didn't
Let's
see
see
it.
if I can get it.
Well,
Oh, this is my favorite track in the game, by the way. I absolutely love this track. I know all of these guys in here hate it.
no. Don't lump me in with the rest of
So-
these guys.
Wait, okay, you actually like it. Okay, that's fine. I thought you didn't like it.
C tier
No.
track.
It is not. Get out of here.
D tier maximum.
This is the biggest fan of Darkmoon Cavern.
So the reason for the discussion, the discourse here on commentary, this is one of the laggiest tracks in the game, especially with the music on. It's super hard to control the car because it feels like a lot of your inputs just get devoured by the loss of frames. Even with music off, the terrain is really unforgiving, and unless you really know what you're doing here, like Obiyo, you're gonna have a rough go of it. Okay, sweet.
There. Well, what happened there? Well, instead of returning to lobby, he restarted the race. And as you can see, now he's in the coin challenge. So here in the future Funland, there's no boss, to divide the regular race from the coin race. So what they did is that they, like immediately after you beat the regular race, they put the coin race there, but they put a door in the way so you couldn't get in, a balloon thing, right? But the thing is, if you get the cut and skip and just restart the race, well, then you don't have to go through the door, and then you can just enter the coin race immediately. And this saves a lot of time. It saves 6 seconds from the regular cut and skip, but also the fact that you don't have to load and deload the track and movement in overworld. So we generally say that it saves double the amount of time. So the future Funland cuts and skips are twice as important as the ones before.
No, come on. that was
was
I don't
close.
understand how I didn't
I
get
thought
the
you had
skip
it.
there.
I thought you had
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I thought I had it. I have one more chance, so let's try to get it.
He's trying to go for a really cool trick. You guys would love.
It's
But it's
extremely
super hard.
difficult though. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it many years ago on accident when I hit an oil spill.
If you get it, you have to get the cuts and skip too.
Oh, you scared there. Let's see if we get it for this last.
What?
10.
Oh, that is such a
so
shame.
close.
So close.
it's a bummer because I had like 50% consistent in practice, but oh well.
Yeah, but that's,
If you want to
that's a
see
shame.
it, it's called Loop Skip, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So what he would try to do there is to hit the. He was trying to hit the specific part of the loop where the boost starts, but he can gain air from the bonk. What happens there is that he flies off the loop, and then if you hold right, you can actually fly all the way to the finish line. You skip the entire loop.
Saves like a second, right?
Yeah, saves like
Yeah,
1 second
it's
or a
it's
second
a
and a half.
second. It's like not worth it at all for how hard it is, but it's like the most swag track in the game. It's so cool.
Yeah, and it comes by
Yeah, it's really
surprise
good.
if you've never seen it. Like, they just ram their head into the wall of the loop, and then all of a sudden they're flying in space.
It's a shame it didn't work. It really looked like at least the first one looked like it should have worked.
Yeah,
but
all the setups look
Oh
fine,
well.
but that's DKR.
Good Ancient Lake.
So,
Yep. So
Chet might have noticed
Go
we
ahead.
are not in Future Funland anymore, and some people might already be on top of it enough to know why, but Future Funland also has a trophy, and instead of doing all those space tracks, we are just going to use this nifty little trick again and do the Dino Trophy one more time. So if you're a big fan of Dino Domain, you get one last hurrah here.
yeah, so I guess this is a good spot for more donation. Probably the last time until the end.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. We have a $50 donation from, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Noiro. First time donator, here to support my boy. Let's go, Obiyo.
Thank you, Moro.
We have $50 from Andy. Love the DKR community. Glad to see such a great game played and commented by such great people.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have $25 from Instinctively Spontaneous. I have fond memories of playing Diddy Kong Racing at our local children's hospital with my brother as a kid, so I'm more than happy to donate during this run. Here's also to a good friend of mine, who upon hearing this should be reminded we still have a 2-player adventure mode save file to finish, so whenever you're free, just let me know. We have an anonymous $500 donation.
Let's go.
Let's keep
Dang.
cancer where 2020 should be as well, behind us. Good luck to the runners. Thanks for putting this on, even given the challenges handed to us. And we have a $50 donation from Symphonics. So glad I could catch the start of the marathon this year. Here's hoping everyone has a better year than last.
All right.
Alright, so we are getting on the last warp. Here you want overwhelm. It takes a few seconds, but it's not really a big deal either way.
And he
You
gets
got Dragon
Dragon
Car.
Resident
Yay.
Sleeper.
It's not the worst warp to get there, though. If you get Dragon Plane, you lose an extra
Yeah,
few
that one's-
seconds because you spawn further in the lobby.
A little bit of a
Alright.
kick in the pants.
Yep, so now we're gonna enter Spaceport Alpha to do the trophy, and this is because it is the fastest track in this world, because there is another bounce that is only possible on the Japanese version. That's another reason why we are using this version of the game. You're going to see there's like a part, there's like a room with a bunch of lasers, and there's like boxes on the wall, and one of the boxes just doesn't have like a wall behind it. You can just, and doesn't have like a top, so you can just fall out of bounds like this. And yeah, pretty easy.
Yes, it is. So, this is technically the longest track, but it's the shortest track thanks to this out of bounds. And if you look at the minimap, as we usually use to navigate out of bounds, you can see that when he reaches the top left corner, he goes straight down to the bottom right. And it's because the top right of the map has no important checkpoints, so we can skip that entire part of the map.
Yay! And we get
There you
our
go.
Dev
fifth
trophy.
and final trophy.
So now we have the Future Fatherland trophy.
This part of the
Yeah,
run
and
is
so
actually
now-
kind of a grind because you have to do this track 3 times in a row.
Yeah, if you get
Yeah,
the
exactly.
skip.
That's what I'm gonna say. Now we have to do it 2 more times, but like I said, it's not hard to get. It can be hard if you try to go really, really fast, which, you know, I usually try. So I might miss it because of that, but yeah, otherwise, like, if you do this, there's a very safe setup, which you shouldn't basically never miss. Yeah, I had to slow down. At least, like, you can see in advance if you're gonna have the good setup or not.
Yeah.
Because you like really, really, really want to get the shield balloon because there's a bunch of lasers in that room, like I said. And if you get shot down, then like doing the setup is extremely difficult.
Yeah, you really want the shield. It is possible because the lasers are shot in cycles. So some runners have learned the cycle patterns or like the laser patterns so that you can try to avoid it, but it's still very hard because I mean you're still driving forward and you can't really adjust as much as you want. Let's see if he gets a skip here. And
Nah.
no.
Dang.
Okay.
This one could be tricky for some reason. I don't know. I miss this one all the time.
I feel like it's a little bit of a mind game. Like it's finally you're through it and you're safe, and then you have to do the one last thing, and then it's like, nope, sorry, pal.
Now this track, Star City, is amazing.
Yes.
I love this track
Yeah.
so much.
And
It's
this
probably the
bridge here,
track most people agree that is really good.
Yeah, Star City's
Yeah.
awesome.
and that bridge is a very, kind of a unique thing in this game, where you know it's the only part where you can get forced to drive back. If you fall off, you have to drive to the start of the bridge, and there's no other thing like that in the game. So yeah, don't fall off. I don't think Obiyo is gonna fall off though.
I
Let's
just
try. Let's not jinx it.
I just love the design of this track. You have half of it like this kind of cavernous rainbow track, and then you go through a tunnel and you're in this like city section with all these 90-degree turns. It's just super cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
back.
they went crazy on design for Future Funland. There's a lot of unique stuff here. It's really cool. Also very
Oh, I
Dude.
forgot
Dude.
that.
Oh,
I keep forgetting. Oh, no.
oh.
Oh well.
I'm like so focused on going fast that I forget to, yeah, my bad.
Classic.
Yeah, so he got the captain skip, which is good, but you know, forgot to restart the race, so didn't get the full like 12, 13 seconds of time save. We got 6 at least, so that's good.
It was still a good track.
Yeah, for sure.
We count that as a cutscene skip yet. That's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're gonna see now why missing these cutscene restarts can lose you so much time at the very end of this arduous, really long run. Every time we miss one of those restarts, we have to drive back physically in the lobby to that door, on top of the time we missed from missing the cutscene skip. So that is where the extra time comes from, generally speaking.
Look at this super fast lane. So insane.
Oh, that balloon is not my friend today.
Jeez. What are we gonna get here? 122?
Something like that.
He's got one more coin at the very end of this race here.
Yeah, so he needs to go straight instead of going to the blue.
Yeah. Oh, nice boulder.
121.
Very nice boulder dodge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I pretty much always do a barrel there in case there's a boulder like that. Because it's just enough height to go over it, so that's pretty nice.
Time for the coin race here.
I love this coin race. I've put a lot of time into this particular race.
Yeah. If you're segmented or you're a human theory run. So this is kind of similar to the Windmill Plains track, where we collect like half the coins and then go out of bounds, and then go back in bounds on the last lap. And that's the fastest way of doing it. I know back in the day, people used to collect all the coins on the first lap and then go out of bounds on the second, but that's less time spent out of bounds, so that's why it's lower. We're just gonna go back here in the center of the laser. You got the coin?
Yeah. The hitboxes on these coins are very generous.
Yeah,
Luckily.
very. Yeah, luckily.
This is going to be a very good time, like a 109.
Yeah.
108.
108.
Yeah,
Very
it's really
great.
good.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Sub 110 is always super good.
Very clean.
And this is the last race before the final race of the run.
This is it.
Yes.
How far we've come.
And yeah, and I want to say super good performance so far by Obiyo, and I'm so happy that he has gotten to do this run because he has been submitting DKR for 5 years, and finally he's showing off his super skill.
Yeah, very
And,
thankful for GDQ for giving me the opportunity to run this game. It is my favorite speedrun, like, if you ever, like, it's just my favorite speedrun to play, to watch, and I'm just super happy to be able to showcase it here. And yeah, it's been a great run, like you said. Like, it's actually been a lot better than most of my no resets.
Yep. Yeah. Super good. And the final Wispig race later is yeah, I've seen a lot of debate between players where, you know, is Wispig 1 or Wispig 2 the hardest race for a casual? I hear a lot of people saying that the first Wispig race is harder, but, you know, then you watch a lot of casual players play and they lose all the time to, I don't know. It's hard. But, final race, Sicko Bio.
And
Got this.
as you're gonna see, this is a plane track, so at this point you probably can guess what is gonna happen.
Yeah, we're gonna go with
Which is-
we're gonna go with style here.
Yep.
There are a lot of obstacles in this track, and we don't like obstacles, so...
So for whoever's on time, at the end of the third lap is when time will stop, so...
Yes.
A little over a minute.
So we're seeing these obstacles now.
Yeah.
Probably kind of
I'm
see
already
You
what
don't
we-
like.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't like looking at these. Get them out of here.
Then boost straight down, bam. And it's a similar concept to Alto Volcano. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's scary.
He went down underneath the rock formation of his face, and now we're out of bounds as usual. No, reload the track again. This is fine though.
You know, I know roughly where the stuff is, so I can still, you know, keep myself out of bounds.
He's been speedrunning this since 2013, just like myself. He's amazing. And here we go.
Loaded nicely. Right, so as I cross the finish line will be time. Time.
Applause!
Yeah.
That was actually a lot better than I expected. I'm really
That
happy
was
about this round.
Awesome.
Great performance.
Very well done.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You guys have the
147.
time.
Let's see. I'm checking. It should be a mid 147.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm watching the stream right now because I can't see it.
You can tell me, like, after this, I guess I'm just gonna
42.
do my
147, 42.
shoutouts. Oh, thank you. So I'm just gonna do my shoutouts to let the other runner take place. Just a huge thank you to Giz, Sweener, and tridenttail for doing the commentary. This game is really, really hard. It's really hard to comment it and play at the same time. It takes so much focus to go fast. So without you, like it would have been a lot worse. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
And I want to have a big shout out to just the DKR community as a whole. It's been, I've been in the community like Giz said since 2013, and back then it was basically me and Giz, and then 2-4 running, but then there was not really interaction. But nowadays it's like a really nice community, a lot of new runners, both for speedrunning and time trials, and it's just like a really nice community. So thank you guys.
Yeah, for sure. And make sure to go to dkr64.com. Check out our time trial site.
Dedicated time trial site is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's about it for me. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for that amazing run, Obiyo. We have $25 from Squish. I have got to see a glitchless Skyrim run. I almost forgot it was possible to play it without horse tilts catapulting you around the world. Yes, and we are still taking donations for that. Let's see, that is coming up, and that is currently at a little over 19,000 of the 45,000 goal. So let's get donations in for that. And we have a $25 donation from Light of Xeon. Let's vould our way to Skyrim glitchless. And now let us have a word from our wonderful sponsors. Fangamer is a video game merch company. They have new AGDQ merchandise available now, including event badge, limited edition pin, desk mat, mug, socks, and more. 100% of the profits from GDQ merch sales supports PCF. Visit them at www.fangamer.com/GDQ. Join Zed in his quest to rise above his lowly status and challenge a god of destruction. Along the way, meet zany characters, explore chaotic new worlds, and discover the power of sibling bonds and determination. Coming summer 2021. Learn more and pre-order today at disgaea.us/D6/. And I have been French Toast. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for watching AGDQ 2021 online, powered by Twitch. I will now hand it over to Purple Ghost Casper.
Hello and welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2021 online powered by Twitch. I'm Purple Ghost Casper and I'll be your host for a bit. Up next we have Metroid Zero Mission, and I know CScottyW is going to give us an incredible run. So grab a snack, grab your cat, and grab some comfy socks because you're not going to want to miss this. Before we jump into the run, how about we get to some of these donations? We have $25 from Xenon, who says, working the last night of a 72-hour work week. Thanks for keeping me company through this AGDQ. We got a $250 donation from Anonymous. Thank you so much for that. We have $250 from Jules J that says, been looking forward to AGDQ and so excited to get underway. Putting my donation to have Skyrim on the schedule and to donate to a fantastic cause. Hoping that one day we can sweenerdog cancer. Thank you so much for that. We have $50 from Reclesis that says, love watching GDQ and watching these games get broken in fantastic ways. Donation goes to Brando's Ghostbuster run to have him play Ray for his run. Thank you so much for that. We have $25 from MoD366 that says, getting my first donation of the marathon and seeing those wonderful prizes, I just can't help myself. Good luck to all the runners. Let's work together to help kick cancer's butt. Money goes towards some 8-bit goodness during ukulele and the impossible liar. We have $100 from Kindle Jack that says, let's go AGDQ 2021. Thank you so much for that. And before we get into this run, let's hear from an interview from CScottyW and Feasel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Feasel, and I am here with CScottyW, who is going to be running Metroid Zero Mission 9% Normal later this evening. So welcome, Scotty, and thank you very much for talking with us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me to GDQ.
All right, well, we've got, first, let's start with the category here. So the category that you're going to be running is 9% Normal. So I know that normal refers to the difficulty level. What's the 9% referring to?
The 9% refers to the number of items and expansions that we pick up throughout the game. So that includes both movement upgrades, beam upgrades, and ammo expansions.
So you're only picking up 9 things total?
Yes, 9 things total.
All right. And the things that you're going to pick up, well, what are those 9 things? Just so people know.
So, checking the list that I took earlier, we will be picking up Morph Ball, Bombs, Grip, Varia, Gravity, Missiles, Ice, Space Jump, and Plasma Beam.
Right. So nowhere in there is there any missile packs, super missiles, or health upgrades or anything like that?
Nope. We go through the entire game with 99 health and 5 missiles.
And just the 5 you start with?
Yes.
So now, normally in any percent, you'd get a few other upgrades to save time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which of those things are you skipping that you would normally get in an any percent run?
So we're skipping both Charge Beam and High Jump, which Charge Beam is just very useful for saving ammo because you can deal a lot more damage without having to use a missile. And then skipping High Jump. High Jump is used to save time on most jumps, and it just makes movement in the end game a lot easier and more comfortable.
Yeah, that makes sense. So all 9 of the items that you're getting are required items to beat the game? Like you need those 9?
Yeah, you do need... Technically, yes, you do need all of the 9 to beat the game. You can't go any lower, but the game kind of forces you to pick up some of those items that you wouldn't generally need if they didn't force it.
So I know earlier you mentioned in particular that Power Grip was one that is in there because it kind of has to be, not because it's really useful.
Yeah. With Power Grip, you could skip Power Grip by just bomb jumping everywhere, but the game actually forces you to go pick it up because it places an indestructible vine in the way that won't go away until you pick up Power Grip.
Yeah, something about those GBA Metroid games that are always like sticking stuff right in the way to stop you from getting the lowest low.
Yes. Yeah, Zero Mission is a lot more lenient with letting you skip things or do things out of order, but not nearly as strict as Fusion is.
So yeah, normal mode is what most people are used to playing, and if you were
Mhm.
playing this on hard mode, I think you said earlier the only difference really would be the amount of damage that the enemies do and the
Amount of
amount of
damage.
missiles.
Yeah, amount of damage that other enemies do. There's often more enemies to deal with, and you don't have as much ammo to kill everything. So in normal mode, you have 5 missiles, and in hard mode, you have 2,
Hmm.
just throughout the entire run.
Yeah, and it seems like in low percent in particular, in this 9% category that you're running, it seems like the real challenge is like lack of missiles, lack of ammo.
Hmm. Hmm.
That, I mean, that's really the big difference between this run and any percent run, right? So can
Yeah,
you talk a little bit
yeah.
about what that's like, just not having the health upgrades, not having those missiles. How does that change the
Hmm.
way you're playing?
So for comparison, in any percent, we pick up 50 missiles and 6 super missiles,
Mhm.
and in low percent, we only have 5 missiles. So we're going to have to be farming for missiles everywhere. We have to be managing our ammo very well. Um, During boss fights, we have to manage dodging and farming at the same time, and keeping track of how many missiles are on screen to farm, and using those wisely so as not to waste any of them.
Would you say that the bosses are the most challenging part of the run of this particular category?
I would say definitely the bosses and just all of Torian is a whole lot more difficult, having to deal with Metroids with limited ammo.
So why does it make a difference with the Metroids, the limited ammo?
With the Metroids, each Metroid takes 5 missiles to kill, and will only give you 4 of those missiles back. So throughout Torian, you uh, have to manage multiple Metroids on screen while trying to farm back up to 5 missiles to kill one Metroid.
And just farming in general probably is not even just with these Metroids. I bet farming in general is probably a lot more complicated, I guess.
It's not particularly complicated, but it is something that you have to be very mindful of, and making sure not to waste all of your missiles, because having to stop completely instead of farming along the way definitely loses quite a bit of time.
Hmm. So it may not trip you up during the marathon run, but certainly for a PB attempt or world record attempt, I imagine that would be incredibly
Yeah, in a
difficult.
record attempt, you're definitely trying to have as much ammo as possible that you can possibly have, and you kind of have to rely on RNG in a lot of places for that.
Yeah, so that really ups the level of RNG in the run, right? I mean,
Hmm.
that's got to get
Yeah,
pretty frustrating for you when you're doing attempts, right?
yeah, that's something that kind of deters a lot of runners, is that you have to rely a lot on luck
Hmm.
to to get through the game even.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty challenging category all around. So, like, I'm
Hmm.
wondering,
Hmm.
like, how did people kind of arrive at this? Like, why do people do this? It doesn't seem obvious to try to do this
Yeah,
from the start.
so there is an incentive within the game. You do get a special ending if you finish the game with fewer than or equal to or fewer than 15 items. So we just kind of push that to its extreme at 9 items minimum.
Hmm. And 9 items really is the minimum. There's not even like a task route that does, even less
Tasks
or something like that.
could go out of bounds and corrupt the memory to lower it down to 8%, but beyond that, we don't know of any other way to get it even lower. And
I
that
see.
getting out of bounds is not humanly possible.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Or
See,
well,
that's
in the way that task does it, it's a lot of frame perfect inputs that we can't do reasonably.
well, speaking of that, I mean, are there strats that you aren't using in this run that are technically possible, but no human is doing them?
Yeah, in any percent, we can skip the acid worm fight because we can pick up speed booster from Kraid and spark across a long acid pit to skip having to fight the acid worm. In low percent, we have to fight acid worm because we can't pick up speed booster, so we can't spark across that long acid pit.
Hmm.
So that if we could skip that, if we could go across that acid pit, that would save probably a minute and a half, somewhere between 1 and 2 minutes. But it's just not reasonable because of all the luck and skill involved. It's just so much luck that you're not going to get it.
Hmm.
Even with save states, it's difficult.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm kind of curious how the route for this particular category came about. Like, where did the route come from?
Yeah, the route is very strongly influenced by the any percent run,
Mhm.
minus having to fight Ice Storm. Uh, that route has been around as long as the game has been around, so we've been doing the same thing for a long time.
That's so that's interesting that the route really hasn't changed all that much. I guess just due to the linearity of the game. But I imagine
Mhm.
there is like a new tech at least that has been developed in
The
recent
only
years, right?
Yeah, the only new thing, this was probably 2015 or 2016, it
Mhm.
was Zebetite skip that will allow you to skip some of the barriers in Torian so that you don't have to kill half of the Zebetites. You can just kill two of them. And that saves a lot of time in low percent because that means you don't have to farm to kill each one.
Yeah, I can imagine that makes a huge difference in this category in particular.
That's a lot less luck that you have to deal with.
All right, well, that's all the time we have, and I know you've got a kit practicing for your run and whatnot.
hmm
But I want to thank you very much for talking with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep, and everyone can catch CScottyW's run of Metroid Zero Mission any percent, or sorry, 9% normal, which is going to be coming up pretty soon, right after Diddy Kong Racing. So stick around.
Hello and welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2021 powered by Twitch. I'm going to kick off some donations before we jump into this run here. We have $5 from Hercules Bench Press that says, Scotty playing low percent zero mission? The only way this run could get better if it was being run on a karaoke machine. What do you say, Scoots? I'll let you borrow mine if you need one, winky face. In all seriousness, good luck on the run, friend. We have $100 from Hercules, who says, good luck to CScottyW on the Metroid Zero mission run. We have a $10,000 donation from the Sasquatch who sells pants that says, that run of Diddy Kong Racing was great. Here's to hoping the upcoming Metroid Zero mission run goes well too. I love watching both runs for both games. Thank you so much for that donation. We have $25 from MrsGizamaluke, who says, a new year, a new AGDQ. I hope everyone has a great run and stays safe. Remember to stay hydrated. Thank you so much for that. We have $25 from Mom6226 that says, thanks for everyone for making such a great event to raise money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Good luck to all the runners. And with that, we're going to give it over to CScottyW with Metroid Prime. Or Metroid Zero.